Happy Friday, newsies! It is I, Becca Lori Hector here, and I am back this Friday with another installment of Neurodiversity Newsstand. Welcome back to the channel if you're joining us again. Welcome for the first time if you're new. Please take a moment right now to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss all the other fun stuff that goes on here. All right, it is Friday, you guys. Here I am, and I am discombobulated and disillusioned. Those are my words for today. Disillusioned is a follow through from yesterday. I was feeling a little, what's the word? Disillusioned is the word about our community and about how things are going on and or not going on. Sort of, I don't know. I feel a little stalemated a little bit by what's going on in the world, and I feel like it's kind of dead stopped our community in some ways. And I don't know. And I guess we're finally seeing those effects, or maybe I'm finally feeling those effects. And then I started to just kind of question, what the heck am I doing as part of this community? Am I being effective? Is the advocacy that I'm doing actually being effective? Is it a good use of my energy? All of those things. And I started to question and doubt myself and all of that fun stuff. And that led me to today, where I'm feeling totally discombobulated, like a mess. I just can't. I'm dropping everything, the dropsies today, and just trying to get through. Kind of prepping for newsstand was kind of tough for me today. I don't know. It's an odd day for me, and and because I have alexithymia, I can't quite identify what it is that I'm feeling. And so all I've got for you right now is disillusioned and discombobulated. So pardon the train wreck that is about to occur as I record newsstand. Who knows what I'll say or do or mess up? We'll see. Could be entertaining, could be embarrassing, could be both. So here we go. We'll get started. I'm going to try and make it through. I don't really have much to share with you this week except for the usual about the course and the scholarship seats and all of that, but I'll give you that whole breakdown at the end when I talk about my stuff. Newsletter came out this week. I hope a bunch of you got it. I hope you loved the theme. This month's theme for Becca's monthly musings was the advantages of alone time. I think autistics get kind of abused a little bit about our desire for alone time, or our lack thereof of desire to socialize at some amount, some imagined neurotypical amount that we're supposed to be socializing at. And you hear parents all the time, right? I just want my friend. Sorry. See, there it goes. I just want my kid to have a friend, right? And maybe your kid doesn't want a friend. I'm just saying, And so it's been interesting. It's been interesting to kind of approach that idea as a healthy idea and then share it with everybody. So I hope you enjoyed the newsletter if you are a newsletter recipient. If you are not a newsletter recipient, I'm sorry you're not a newsletter recipient. I would say go over to my website right now, and it is free to subscribe to Monthly Musings, so please do. I send you that once a month right to your inbox. It's my tips and tricks for the month, kind of a theme to integrate into your life for the month and give a go. Really just positive and that kind of thing. And of course, it includes discounts to my course in there that are exclusive to newsletter recipients. So head over, sign up to the newsletter, think about the course, think about alone time and how important it is to you, because that was my theme for this month. And while you're thinking about that, I'm going to move on to the news. We actually had quite a lovely news week this week. We had some really interesting pieces came out this week, so I'm excited to share the news with you this week. We had some interesting things to talk about happen, and I like that. I like when there's some meat to the news, and we did have some meat finally this week, so yay. But let me get back to the page I'm supposed to be on in the notebook, which is not the last page, but the first. There we go. Okay, so as always, we'll start out with COVID and COVID-related news, get it out of the way. First piece is, of course, not a nice piece. We're talking about COVID, and I don't think it has a personality. So first one came out of liveaction.org, and we talk about what we've been kind of discussing as a fear about COVID, and now it's becoming a reality. So Texas man with disability dies after doctors refuse to treat him for COVID. Okay, not okay, right? So not okay, but it's exactly what we've kind of been postulating about and postulating the possibility of disabled folk kind of being at the bottom of the list for COVID care. And now we're seeing deaths as a result, right? This gentleman, Michael Hickson, my love and hugs and positive energy goes out to you and your family. Michael is actually disabled by an anoxic brain injury, which means that his brain was deprived of oxygen. So a couple of years prior, he had a cardiac arrest. They were able to revive him, but his brain had lost oxygen for a very long amount of time, and as a result, he was disabled. Right? And that's the thing about disability. We talk about it all the time, right? Yes, there are lifetime disabilities, some of us who are born with it, but the idea that you can become disabled at any point in your life is a truth. And so all people should care about disabled people, because one day you too could be part of our tribe. So that's what's going on here. And unfortunately, they did not treat him. He ended up developing pneumonia and passing away. So my love and everything goes out to your family, Michael. I hope that you're at least at peace and not suffering. But here it is, right? We're starting to have a disabled body count. Moving on in the COVID news is the big old battle over face masks. Woo woo, let's have a fight over something for everybody's health, right? And of course, we're seeing a huge backlash in the United States about it, because we're very much a me country. And everybody's all about me and the idea and me success and me and me and me and me money. And so we are seeing quite the backlash of people who either don't believe that COVID is real, or don't think it's as serious as it is, or for whatever reason, and have decided to wave the ADA in our faces. However, they are doing so incorrectly. So what we're seeing is a lot of scammers, a lot of fake disabled people saying that they can't wear a mask and being out in public, which is a really big disservice to the rest of the disabled community, because 80% of us in the disabled community are just fine wearing a mask. Some folks who have COPD or have asthma, who have other issues. And of course, we are having struggles in the autism community. It is a sensory issue to wear a mask. However, the ADA does not protect you from wearing a mask. It just doesn't. That's not how it's used. And if you are not a disabled person and you are using the ADA in that way, then you are breaking the law twice. First, for fraud and masquerading as a disabled person, and second, by using the ADA incorrectly. So that is the whole idea behind this whole face mask controversy. There is a group now called Freedom to Breathe that is making up little business cards that you can carry that say that you're ADA exempt from wearing a mask, and that people can't ask you what's wrong with you and all of this stuff. They're actually faking and fake using the ADA, and those cards are fake. They have a fake Department of Justice sigil on them and all kinds of stuff, and the government has come out and said, those are not ours. We do not think you should use them. They are fake, and they break the ADA. So that's out there, this Freedom to Breathe organization. And we had two articles come out this week. One in Slate.com that says those face mask ADA exemption cards are dangerous nonsense. And they go on to talk about why in that article, and this Freedom to Breathe organization. In parallel, coming out of Pathos.com, we had an article called Faking Disability to Avoid Masks Breaks at least 3 commandments. So taking the religious take on not wearing a mask. But both of them talk about these ideas of the ADA, this organization, Freedom to Breathe, and the controversy itself. So I kind of sharing those two articles together. They're really, really similar. But just so that you know what's going on in the world, that's what's going on. And it's not so good. It's sort of like that same problem that I run into with having an emotional support animal and other people who have fake service animals and having to deal with that conversation. It's an abuse of a law and a privilege that is being provided to people who need that accommodation. And when you fake it and you don't need it and you're just doing it out of convenience or because you want to take your dog somewhere, not cool. It takes away from the freedom and from the comfort of those who really need their supports and services. So please be nice. Please think of others besides yourself. Thank you. That was my public service announcement about masks. Anyway, Moving along, out of COVID, kind of. The Mighty shared an article with us this week called I am your fiercely empathetic nurse, and I have autism." And I loved it. Jackie Ann Blair, I hope you hear my love and my shout out. What a great piece. She talks all about what it is to be autistic, to find out late in life, to decide to pursue a career that you think might be challenging to your autism, and then find that there are other challenges than you expect. Interesting piece. I really loved it, and it really talks about how so many of us on the spectrum are kind of hiding in plain sight in professions that you see us in regularly, and that we are often in the process of breaking stereotypes and busting myths, just like Jackie, being empathetic and being a nurse and being autistic. So take a look at Jackie Ann's piece in the Mighty. I will share, as I share everything, always right below in the description. If I've talked about it here, there's a link to it below for sure, so you can follow up if you want to. Moving on, I am sharing this one single piece of research from Spectrum because it's another piece of validation for autistics out there now. However, it is a stellar piece of DA research. It is called "Autism Traits in Children Are More Variable Than Previously Thought." What? What? There's variety on the spectrum and it starts in childhood? Yes. Apparently now, though, we have a study showing us that. Well, thanks so much to those folks who did that study and proving that what we talk about anecdotally in the community is often correct. And thanks, of course, to those who decided to fund that little bit of the research for us. Think about the things you fund before you fund them, please. There are much better places to be spending your money. Moving along. Neuroclastic had a fantastic piece this week by Lady Snessa. Another shout out to you, Lady Snessa. I think I've shared like 3 of your pieces in Neuroclastic. I love your writing and I love the topics that you talk about. It is called "Is It Trauma or Autism or Both?" And Lady Snessa talks about in the article the ways that we as autistics develop trauma, how we begin to start to smudge that line between our autism and trauma, and how it actually ends up kind of being both, right? And so she talks about that and about the way that it looks and the way that it feels and develops and things like that. Really good piece on trauma and autism. Please take a look at it. Moving along. On medicalexpress.com, we had an article coming from the students at Brigham Young University. They did a study. Women who camouflage their autistic traits suffer severe mental health challenges, the study found. Again, kind of duh, sort of knew it. This one, though, important to have on the books. Why? Because we need those mental health services. We need them as a community. We need them for adults. We as adult autistics need them. Should I say it again? One more time? So anytime we get a study that supports our need for better mental health care, I get excited and I want to share it and I want you to share it and I want people to shout it from mountaintops. So please do that with this article. These students at Brigham Young did this study and it's an important one because these are the services that we need. So please share it far and wide and please take a read. Moving along. Really good piece from Lydia XZ Brown came out this week. Love them, love their work, love everything, right? This piece was called "Autism is an Identity, Not a Disease." Okay, and it's inside the neurodiversity movement. Lydia talks about autistic culture in this piece. Lydia talks about autistic leadership in this piece, and our place in the world, our place in society, and what that is when you begin to understand that autism is an identity and not a disease or a disorder, right? We know it has medical basis, but so do our gender choices and all of those issues. And we know that people identify with their gender, and we also identify with our disability. I am first and foremost, when I step out into the world, an autistic person. I am next a woman, I am next a white woman, but the foot that leads me out into the world is my autistic foot. And Lydia talks about it in this piece, and I would like for you to read it. You may know Lydia also as Autistic Hoyas, if that sounds familiar to you. Please take a read of this piece. It was such a good one. Moving along, more blogs from our people, good blogs from our people. A new one out from Lisa Morgan in Spectrum Women magazine. When So Little Was Known of Autism is the title of the piece. And she talks all about me. Really, no, not me, but me, us. Me, her, Barb Cook, Yenn, Purkis, John L. Robison, all of us late diagnosed adult autistic advocates, right? That lived our lives having to figure out and create coping mechanisms and habits to get us through kind of masking our autism all these years. And what it is that we know and the knowledge that we have that we're always willing to share, and how important it is for researchers, medical professionals, anybody who wants to work in the field of autism to reach out to the late in life diagnosed autistics. We hold secrets that when we are gone, you will not be able to get back. We can articulate our needs. We can explain what it feels like as adults, what it felt like to be kids, right? We have a lot of information, and we want to share that with you. So please read this piece by Lisa. Fantastic piece, Lisa. I loved it so much. Giant shout out. And it's really for us advocates. So please have a read of it. Another great blog piece that came out this week from the fantabulous Yenn Purkis. They have shared with us, my name is Yenn. I am non-binary, autistic, and proud. Yenn talks about all what the transition was like to non-binary, the change of name, all of the things that they had to do to kind of envelop this new piece of their identity and add it to the autism and still feel proud about being who they are. Really nice piece, Yenn. I loved it. Please read it, you guys. It was a good one. Now we're on to the fun bits, the resources, the books, the podcasts, the whole jazz. So it's the light stuff. And I'm going to start us out with not your autistic OT, the autistic OT. Sarah Hernandez is working on a fantastic project. It is called the Neurodiverse Universe. And she is using hamsters as a way to describe all of the different kinds of folks we have out there on the spectrum that are autistic adults. And she's going to help us kind of figure out how to communicate. And that means communicating with others, communicating with ourselves. And they're adorable. Really, Kate, you did such a great job on the drawings. Kate Galligan, is that what it is? I'm sorry. If I messed up your last name, I apologize. I should have written it down. But she's doing the drawings. They are a fantastic little duo doing this amazing thing. So please check out the Neurodiverse Universe and follow not your autistic OT, the autistic OT. Moving on, new podcast to share with you, new to me in any case, not that brand new. Two Sides of the Spectrum podcast hosted by Meg Proctor. It is out 2 times a month, and she's had some great guests like Damian Milton. She had Lydia X.E. Brown, and she just had huge and humongous real ally to the autism community, Christy Patton, on. She is chair of the OT department at NYU, but she is a fantastic human being and one of the strongest allies that we have here in the States on our community. So she talks about a strength-based approach to autism in her podcast episode. So please have a listen to her podcast episode and then all the ones that you missed because they are good and she's got some good guests on. So shout out to you, Meg Proctor, and the Two Sides of the Spectrum podcast. Next up, this Sunday, July 5th, Anlor Davin from the West Coast, originally from France. She is a yoga teacher, meditation expert, and she is offering internet autistic meditation on Sundays through the summer. So this Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, she gives you all of the time zones. She'll be doing it in Zoom, a Zoom meditation. The Zoom comments will be in the link. The Zoom info will be in the comments of the link that I'm sharing with you. The link gives you the description of what it is she's doing and also the future Sundays of July 19th and August 2nd, same time. So please take a look at that. I shared it in Newsstand on Facebook, but I will put it in the description here as well. Something for you to do from home with your fellow autistics. Let's see. Oh, we're on to me stuff. Me stuff I don't need paper for. Me stuff I can share with you. So again, Geek Club Books and Zoom Magazine are sharing my article called What Does a Quality Autistic Life Look Like? And it talks a little bit about my journey creating a quality autistic life. And it, of course, talks about the course, Self-Defined Living, A Path to a Quality Autistic Life, which is out now. Unit 1 is up, recorded. You can purchase it right now and watch it. Unit 2 is coming out on August 5th. And that will be recorded live. You can register now to see Unit 2. You can register now for Unit 1. In fact, you can register now for all 3 units. They will be out and done by September 16th, and then they will all be available for purchase then. You get downloadable companion exercises with it. You get access to me. You get a group coaching call. You get all kinds of stuff to help you create a thriving life on the spectrum. A life that you're proud of, a life where you can be your authentic self and live your best life. And I will help you create that. I will give you the tools that you need to create that for yourself. This is especially good course for folks that were diagnosed late in life. I can help you unwind all of the mess. So please head over to my website, beccalaurie.com. Consider registering for the course. You can see Unit 1 today if you want to. And then you're all caught up and can meet us for Unit 2 on August 5th. If you need scholarship seats to any of these units, 1, 2, 3, please email me at info@beccalaurie.com. My sponsors are providing scholarship seats for you guys, so financial hardship is not the thing that keeps you away from creating your best life. So you can email me at info@beccalaurie.com for a scholarship seat. You can head over to beccalaurie.com. There's Self-Defined Living tab and also a sponsor tab. If you want to be a sponsor, if you want to register for the course, if you just want to know more, head over there. And while you're there, you can register. You can sign up for the newsletter, right? I mean, you can join my social media while you're there. Bunch of things you can do, including using the contact page to reach out to me directly. That's it for me this week, you guys. I am going to pop off here, change my shirt, and start recording Asking Spectrum Women for July. I got your questions. I'm excited, so keep a lookout for the July installment of Asking Spectrum Women. All right, you guys, have an amazing weekend. I plan to do some laying in the sun, some hammock time, and some writing. I have some ideas. Things are percolating, and I'm excited to share them with you guys. So that's my weekend. Do something amazing for yourself this weekend. Do some self-care. Create some joy. Do something alone. And have an amazing, amazing weekend. Share with me what you do in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys. Let me know with a thumbs up or a thumbs down whether you like this video. If I missed something you think I should have talked about, please share it with me in the comments or via email. I hope to see you guys on Tuesday for my next live stream, Becca's Backyard Live, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Tuesdays. And if not, I will see you next Friday for the next installment of Neurodiversity Newsstand. That's it for me. I'm Becca Laurie Hector. I will see you guys next week.